Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. Yep. My name's Jason Newland and this is Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. This is the early edition. What? Early edition? What's that? Well, it's the edition that's earlier than the older one. This is, well, today at least, I'm doing two different recordings. This one in the morning, and later on tonight I'll do another one. I have to go out. Oh no, I do have to go out. And I don't want to, but I have to because I have a doctor's appointment. Well, it's a nurse appointment to have it's like a mental health thing. So I'm going to be going there, and the appointment's at 2:00. So I'm going to get a taxi up there, collect my prescriptions. I got a taxi booked for 1:00. I booked that yesterday, so not for today, that is. And then I'm going to go to the pharmacy on the way to pick up my prescriptions, then go to the doctor's surgery, which I'll be there probably by about 1:30, and then I will possibly go into the supermarket, or I might just go into the doctor's surgery and just sit there for half an hour. That don't really matter, but I might go, because part of my plan is I need to get a wall bracket for my TV. I need to measure my TV, so I'm not sure where the tape measure is. It's hiding from me. I think there's a reason it hides me, because of what I am constantly measuring. So it's hiding, but if I find it, providing I can, stop it from screaming, I'll just say, look, it's fine, we're just going to measure the television this time. Are you sure? Yeah, but that's what you said last time. Okay, no, it's definitely the television we're measuring. Okay. So the idea is to get a bracket on the TV, a bracket for the TV on the wall, and then get the TV moved up. So I'm going to get my neighbours downstairs to help me to put it onto the wall. Then I'm going to move the tables away, put one... Yeah, I think I might take one table and put it into the bedroom, and have one table, because I've got these desks. They're like gaming desks, but I'm not a gamer. No, I'm not. And have one desk. I'll probably just leave them where they are for now, but it would be quite nice to go back to being able to do stuff on the computer whilst watching TV. At the moment I can't do that because the desks are, well, the TV's on top of the tables. And there's room, to do stuff in front of the tables because they're quite big desks. But visually I cannot watch television from so close. General Zod passed away yesterday, from the old Superman movies. I didn't realise what a great actor he was, and I also didn't realise, I know he was great in Superman as Zod, kneel before Zod. He was very famous in the 60s, or 70s, no, 60s I think, but he was in a movie about 2011 It was so good. I mean, I actually did look it up earlier because, right, General Zod. General Zod. Why are you Why? Why are you doing that? Terence Stamp, his name is. But I'm going on Wikipedia saying, please don't skip this 1 minute read. It's Monday the 18th of August. And we're running a short fundraiser to support Wikipedia. If you've lost count of how many times you've visited Wikipedia this time, we hope that means it's given you at least £2.75 of knowledge. Please join the 2% of readers who give what they can to keep this valuable resource ad-free and available for all. After nearly 25 years, Wikipedia is still the internet we promised. Created by people, not by machines. It's not perfect, but it's not here to push a point of view. It's owned by a non-profit, non-giant technology company or a billionaire. Okay, so most readers donate because Wikipedia is useful to them. Others because Wikipedia is more important than ever. If you feel the same, please donate £2.75 now or consider a monthly gift to help all year. Thank you. That's a nice advert for Wikipedia, wasn't it? Wow, it's got here a once payment option. £2.75, £15, £25, £50, £100, £2.50, £500, and other. Are there people out there that would actually pay £500? I wonder. I want to see them stats. You know me and stats. I love a bit of stats, a little bit of statistic thing. But then, if you go to monthly, also the same amounts. So is there anyone out there that pays £500 a month on a standing order to Wikipedia? If anyone's out there, please, you're welcome to pay me £500 a month. That'd be cool. Wow. I'd have a great financial lifestyle if everyone was paying me £500 a month. That'd be, I'd earn at least £500 a month. Yeah. Right, General Zod. So, really? Okay, so Terence Stamp. There was a really good movie that I would recommend anybody watching. It's a really good movie. And let me have a look. It was about 2011. No, it wasn't. It was 2012. Song for Marion. And it's basically, he's an old man and he loses his wife. That's pretty much the whole, how he copes with that. But it's really good. It's just something like, family and stuff come to help him, and he's very stoic, but at the same time, he's got love, and it's a really good movie. And I remember watching it thinking, he looks so familiar. Why do I have the feeling to run off and phone Superman to come and help me? And I couldn't figure it out. And it's like, oh, it's Zod. But, bearing in mind, 2011 and 1978, it looks, he's still got the same face, but it's aged slightly. But he was actually nominated for his very first movie he did in 1962 called Billy Budd. He had an Academy Award nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I mean, wow, that's pretty amazing for your very first movie. Blimey. And then, he was in A Company of Wolves. So has anyone seen A Company of Wolves? It's one of those movies that's kind of disappeared, but it's a really good movie. It's a horror movie, but it's got the Murder She Wrote lady in it, telling stories. But I don't want to spoil it for you. You know, there's stuff I could tell you, but I don't want to spoil it because, you know, it's only 41 years old. So, yeah. We played the devil. Oh, that's nice. He was also in Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And I suppose maybe that's what some people would like to know him as, because I don't know, I don't think I've ever watched that movie. Not for any reason, just I don't think I ever got around to watching it. There's a lot of movies, isn't there? A lot of movies. But anyway, he's very handsome man. 87 though, so yeah, he's departed. Right, so let's have a look. I'm just reading the Daily Mirror. Just going to see what it says. More chance. Out of hours boost for NHS scans and tests. Okay. Ooh, I mean, okay, what's this? Eva Longoria is the exact opposite of desperate housewife as she chills on the beach in the sea. So there's a picture of her in a bikini on the beach. Don't know why. Right, so what else? I'm just skipping through all the politics and stuff. No, blimey, no. Brooklyn's words of love for new family. So Brooklyn Beckham has made an emotional speech as wedding vow renewal ceremony, and he heaped praise on his wife's close-knit family. Isn't it weird? There's like the press. They've been talking about the Beckhams since the 90s. David, and then of course Skinny Spice, Pouty Spice, whatever she was called, and then they got together because they were both famous in their own right. I mean, technically, she was more famous than him, really. And then they got together, and the newspapers haven't stopped talking about them. And then they had babies, and the newspapers didn't stop talking about them. And then those babies are now old, or, adults. And they still haven't stopped talking about them. It's almost like they're like another royal family. Isn't it weird? And it's strange. Right, let's have a look. Okay. Cliff Richard makes a date with photo shoot. So he has a photo shoot. He's 84. Alright, so he makes a calendar every year So he's done a Christmas calendar now, ready for Christmas, which isn't that far away, I suppose. But he no longer strips for them. Yeah, I mean, he's making out that that was his own choice. No. I think he was asked, please, Cliffy, we've got a bit of feedback from your fans. You know, they still love you. They do. But, when you do your next Christmas calendar shoot, wear clothes. Olivia's, okay, I'm just skipping through. Oh, battered sausage. Faraggy climate war snub helps to put our fish and chips at risk. TikTok's risky tips to avoid pregnancy. Okay, this has got to be interesting. Right. Oh, I should be looking at the TV. I've got this streaming to the TV, so I should be able to watch that. Okay, right. Dodgy birth control tips on TikTok could do the opposite. So, more than half of the contraception advice found on the platform rejected methods such as pills and patches. Some failed to disclose the drawbacks of the drawouts of methods such as fertility tracking. Dr. Caroline D. Mulbandel of La Trobe University, Australia, said much content is unreliable. This kind of misinformation can result in unsafe decisions. They're not saying anything. They're not telling us anything. Just give us some information. Give us an example at the very least. You know, pull out something. So, they're talking about Terence Stamp. Okay. Bitcoin raider Brit giver. Okay. Pope's mass for homeless and helpers. That's nice. Crime Watch. Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury relaxes in his own kitchen as turns his life around. Right, that's not even a sentence, is it? Tommy, this is Tommy Fury, it's Tyson Fury's brother. Tommy relaxes in his own kitchen as turns his life around. So they've missed the he. Now, he's like, well, that's pedantic, but this is a newspaper. This is a national newspaper. You'd think they'd be able to get a sentence. There's more important things to be concerned with. I know that. Right, I'm not interested in hearing about Tommy Fury or his wife or girlfriend, and it's none of my business. An 8-kilogram fat cat's in flap to find new owners. So a cat who grew so fat she could not fit through a cat flap is in need of new owners to help her slim down. 7-year-old Moose. Are you sure it's not a moose? A ginger domestic short hair reached 9 out of 9 on the vet's obesity scale. She arrived weighing 8.62 kilos and her fur was completely matted as she could not groom herself. Staff at the Little Valley shelter. But why would the owner want to get rid of her? Just make a bigger cat flap and maybe do some grooming? I don't know. Because the thing is, with cats, is they can, like a dog will eat what you know what your dog's eating because you're the one giving them the food. With a cat, they can eat and then go off and eat someone else's food and catch things, and I mean, this cat ain't catching nothing. Is Yeah. By the time if he sees a bird, by the time he gets to the bird, it's going to be a different season. It will have migrated. Plastic pollution is a major threat to the. Okay. Right. What other things? There's some women in bikinis for some reason. Okay, can't bother with that. I've got dad who was too fat to fit in his car loses 20 stone and does triathlons. Okay. Good on him. So I don't know what it's James Norton's grimaces during blood. That's an advert for a TV show. This is interesting. How to prepare for your teen's party. So Sally Ross shares her tips for keeping your home and kids protected. In other words, spying on them. So get a doorbell, stopping them from having fun. Get a doorbell camera. In hindsight, having a doorbell camera was very effective, and I'd recommend it to other parents thinking of letting their kids have a house party. We could also look at who was at the door and decide if they were going to open it or not, if we were going to open it or not. I mean, I would recommend a doorbell camera, doorbell, whatever you want to call them, to everyone. I've got one, and I know the people that don't like them. There's some people, I suppose, they just, they don't want to be on camera. But I would say quite a few people that don't want to be on camera is for a reason. It's because they're dodgy. They're dodgy. Apparently, right, this is a psychological thing. If you want to cut down crime, put cardboard cutouts of police in windows. And even if, right, the general public can see it's just a cardboard cutout or it's a sticker on a window of a police person, psychologically, it's like garlic to a vampire. They don't know why, but they just want to get away from that, because inherently in them, that criminal, dodgy disgustingness that they are is kind of repelled by it, and they can't help it. So I thought about getting some sticker police to put in my windows, but then I'd never get any visitors. No one would ever come in the building. Right, get home and contents insurance. Right, lock away anything valuable or sentimental. Agree a guest list and limit numbers. Get home and contents insurance. Now I'm surprised I haven't actually put a company to phone, because this is all about advertising, isn't it? These newspapers. Agree a guest list. Ask teens to turn off their location on social media. This is a useful tip the police share with parents. Tell kids to turn off their location on social media apps such as Snapchat. If youngsters who aren't invited see a whole group in one location, they're going to assume there's a party of some kind. That's where you end up with gate crashes. So it's a good way of minimising the risk of unwanted guests. I'll tell you what I always found kind of weird, even when I was a kid, how this is something, and it's still, I know it still goes on, is how there can be like 100 people at a party, and one person walks in and starts to dominate, starts to chuck their weight around, or maybe two, maybe three even, but they start to chuck their weight around, and the 100 people all kind of, feel uncomfortable and they do nothing. But when you got like one person and you got 100 people, that one person could be removed quite easily, quite successfully. I'm not saying permanently, but they can definitely be removed from the building. I used to notice that at school. Like hundreds and hundreds of kids, and there'd be one kid walking around like he was special. Like he probably was special, but like what he was, being a bully boy or bully girl, because there was girls that did that as well. It's never really, I never really got it. I never really kind of understood why people didn't just get together and have a little chat with them. So that's enough of that now. You're just a child, just like all of us. You just developed a bit quicker. You got more muscles than us at the moment. And it's like you got hundreds of kids, all like a bit dubious, a bit scared, a bit worried about this one lad that's just grown a bit bigger than everyone else, when they could just remove him from the building if they wanted. But they don't, do they? They don't. Honestly, things I used to think about when I was a kid, it's like, why? I mean, I was no different. Well, I don't know, I used to stand up for myself, generally. But I was lucky I didn't really have to worry about stuff like that when I was at school. I didn't have... And I know it's horrible. I had one kid try to bully me once. And that didn't work out. No, twice actually. It didn't work out well for them. But the difference is, I think, I grew up with two older brothers. And I also grew up in a much more it wasn't a soft childhood, So from the ages of 2 to 7, it wasn't, I lived on a rough council estate in Newcastle when I was very young. So I wasn't really scared of kids. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was just lucky that no one decided maybe, I don't know. But I think, with having older brothers, it does make a difference, because they were a bit rough and ready sometimes, and I was used to being pushed around, and it didn't bother me. I wasn't intimidated by it. Although they didn't have my back, because they weren't even in the same school as me. No, they weren't. I was on my own. Ooh! Have a responsible adult present. Well, that's going to completely ruin the teenagers' fun, isn't it? If there's like a parent there. But then it doesn't say it says teenagers. I don't know, they're talking about 13 and they're talking about 19. Because it's still teenagers, isn't it? So I don't know. I don't know what the rules are with that. Have a repair kit for minor damage so it can be touched up easily. Hide spare keys and serve food because teenagers get hungry. Teenagers get hungry. Wow. Be careful with what you serve, as it could end up on your furniture or the carpets. So not only do teenagers get hungry, they also eat like animals. We all get hungry. It's just normal. Ah, dear. Let's have a look. What's else? What's else? What is else? Colleen. I feel judged for moving out and leaving our kids. Dear Colleen. So this is Dear Colleen. I'm thinking about doing a Dear Jason agony uncle column. What do you think? I could answer people's questions. You could send in a question or a letter. Answer your letter. You could send in a letter, and then I'll give you my opinion. I don't think anyone would want to hear my opinion. Yeah, probably not a good idea. I don't know. It might be interesting, but I don't know really. Oops, what are you doing? Right, okay. Here we go. What's the next one? This is just adverts. Travel inspired. Okay, so remembering. Right, TV stuff. Now, I saw an article. Maybe it was the People, because I saw it online this morning, that was very scary. Oh, so I'll heavy wait for Usyk shot. Utauma says he hasn't earned right yet to face undisputed champ. So Moses Utauma is the next big thing really in heavyweight boxing, and he insists that he will not call out undisputed king Alexander Usyk because he does not believe he deserves the chance yet, which is true. I mean, true in the sense that he hasn't done anything to earn his right to fight for a world title when there's people waiting to fight for the world title already in a queue. You got Joseph Parker, Fabio Wardley, and I think Caballero, and I also do believe Chisora. So I think all four of those people are ahead of Moses Utauma. So what Moses Utauma needs to do is knock one of those off the perch. So or all of them. I mean, I don't know how it works really, because I think he trained for like 14 weeks for less than 2 minutes in the ring. And I'm not sure if he even got hit once in that fight. He might have done, but not sure if he did. And he knocked Dillian Whyte out in the first round. So technically, couldn't he have another fight next month? But then they can't promote it. They haven't got time to promote it, because once they get to the level of, because now he's at world level, it'll be rated, probably in the top 10 of every belt now. So I'd like to see him just every month of the year fighting those big people. So, providing he doesn't get injured, or or every 2 months even. 6 times a year. But with heavyweights, they just don't seem to do that. Or any boxers now. I mean, there was a time when world champions would defend their titles multiple times in a year. Now, especially with heavyweights, you're lucky if you get 2 fights a year, which is not a lot. I mean, it's probably a lot for them, but it's not a lot in the sense of it's going to take them 10 years to rack up 20 fights. Or 5 years to get 10 defences. 5 years. There's a really weird sound. I don't know where it's coming from. It's like... I can hear it. It almost sounds like it's in the wall or outside. It sounds a bit like my stomach. I think it might be a bird. Maybe it's a bird in the loft. It's possible. Anyway, so it's going like... Okay, let's read the rest of this. A tower, 20 made light work, blah, blah, blah. But he is eyeing more... But he is eyeing more those champing at the bit to get a shot at Usyk. What? That doesn't even make sense. But he is eyeing more those champing at the bit to get a shot in Usyk. Shot at Usyk, rather. So he's eyeing more those champing. Okay, so he's looking at the people that are waiting to fight Usyk. He said, I put on a performance for you guys, so it's now who's next. I don't want to call out Usyk because I don't believe I deserve the opportunity. Mind you, the man in charge of the money in boxing, who is in Saudi Arabia, says that he wants Usyk to fight... What's his name? Atalma. And generally what he wants he gets because he's got the money. So I'm pretty sure if he said to now if Saudi Arabia offered Alexander Usyk, he said to him, I would like you to fight Atalma, and Usyk might say no, and they said here's 100 million. Okay then. I don't think it's a really long discussion, is it? And all I've got to do is, if anyone's upset, wait a minute, I was next in line, chuck him a couple of million, he's going to go away happy, so oh, never mind, I don't mind waiting. I'm not going to wait, here's $2 million. All right then, I'll wait then, okay. Just let me know when you're ready. It's easy. If they've got the money, it's so easy to get it all put together. And the problem is, Moses Atalma he's kind of eclipsed all the other heavyweights now, in a sense of he's the most exciting heavyweight out there that everyone's now watching, anyone that's interested in boxing. And whether or not he's ready for Usyk, and I'm not sure that anybody will ever be able to beat Usyk. If I was going to choose between any other heavyweight fighting Usyk, if I could choose which one, I'd choose Moses, because it's an exciting fight. It's just exciting to see, because I I personally, I didn't find either of the only fights that I've actually enjoyed Usyk as a heavyweight. Well, the only ones would be probably when he fought Chisora 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was, and then the 2 fights with Daniel Dubois. Both those fights were good. And the second fight, but I didn't really. I mean, there was good parts in the other fights with Joshua. 2 fights with Joshua, the 2 fights with Fury, but they weren't like a great watch. Though I mean, the skill was amazing, but there's something I wasn't excited about watching them. I was excited about the show because there was lots of really big fights on the show. I was more excited about the undercard than the actual main event, to be honest, or some of those shows. Especially with the rematches, I just wasn't that interested in seeing Tyson Fury or Joshua fighting Usyk again. I'd rather them just fight each other. That's one was now kind of. I don't think it's still a sellable fight. It'll still sell out Wembley because it's one. They're both at the same kind of stage of their career, near the end, potentially. And then I keep remembering George Foreman, who was 45 when he won a world title. So, it doesn't necessarily mean just because someone's 38 that they need to be written off. But then George Foreman did have a long break. He had like a 10-year break after, when he was young to coming back. So that 10-year break definitely would have made a difference. Yeah. I want to see. I hope that they put that on because that's going to be interesting. That would be something I'd look forward to. If they said, okay, was it August, September? It's say November or December. Usyk's going to defend his title against Atauma. All his titles. I'll actually look forward to that. Like, proper look forward to it. Because regardless of who wins, it's going to be a good fight. Because Atauma he's a special fighter. And clearly so is Usyk. Usyk's probably one of the best heavyweights ever. He's so good. He's just brilliant boxer, everything. It's just, but I find Atauma exciting. There's difference. I don't find Usyk to be an exciting fighter. He's a brilliant fighter and he's really funny bloke off in real life and from what I've seen on videos, and he's got great skill and he's but I don't find that style. I don't know, it's almost like he's running circles around the big heavyweights and making them not look very good, when actually they are all really good. All the ones that he's beaten are good fighters. World champions at different times as well, because he beat them to win the titles. So I don't know. I'd like to see. I quite like to see, because there's a few different people that Usyk should be fighting next. As I said, Caballero and Joseph Parker being the two main ones, and I think Joseph Parker's next. Caballero is, Joseph Parker's the most improved heavyweight out of everyone. He's gone from being a really good boxer, former world champion, to being a really hard hitter and an absolute warrior. which he never used to show that in the past. Not the way he does now. Is like he really goes all out. Very exciting fighter. I didn't used to find him exciting in the past. And I've watched Joseph Parker fight, 10, 15 times probably. I've been following him for nearly 10 years. He's so much more exciting now. Caballero is just beating everyone. Anyone that puts in front of him, he's superior boxing skills, and he's a hard puncher. So I think out of all the boxers that stand the best chance, forgetting out of the ones that are experienced, forgetting the two, Atalma, Caballero's probably the one that has more chance of winning against Usyk than any other heavyweight, based on skill, based on boxing ability. I mean, you could argue, but what about Tyson Fury? He's a great boxer, and yeah, can't argue with that. He's a brilliant boxer, but he doesn't. Usyk seems to have had. He's got the blueprint for the big guys. Now, Caballero's not big. He's big. Obviously, all heavyweights are big, but he's not a big guy. So he's not going to be 6'7", 6'8". So Usyk can't do that, ducking and diving and going, running around them with him, because he's going to be standing in front of him, and they're both probably about the same height. In fact, Caballero might be a bit shorter. So I'm thinking he might, that he might be a chance to win. But I do hope, I do hope, if they don't match Atalma with Usyk, because Usyk's probably got a couple of fights left, if that, and then he's going to retire, because I think he said that he's not fighting for much longer. So Atalma, if he doesn't fight him now, he may never get a chance to fight him. And I think it's really good if an undefeated world champion gets beaten, and so the new world champion beats an undefeated world champion and passes that torch on. It's almost, I know, they become the linear champion, and there's something quite cool about that. So you can trace it back all the way back to 100 years ago. But there's something quite cool about that, beating an undefeated two different weights world champion, 2 times unified heavyweight champion, and no one's ever done that before, I don't think. So yeah, if Atalma doesn't get a chance to fight him now, he probably never will fight him. I mean, if he doesn't fight him this year. So I would say the only 2 people, three actually, Caballero, Joseph Parker, or Fabio Wardley. Now, Fabio Wardley's undefeated. I don't want to see him fighting Atalma, because I'm a big fan of Fabio, and I want him to take a different route. I kind of don't want to keep putting 2 Brits together. I want to keep, let's have lots of world champions if we can, like we did before with Anthony Joshua and Fury. They never fought each other, because then they'd only have 1 world champion, only 1 British world champion instead of 2. And as long as we had 2, we kept everyone else away. I said we kept everyone else away. Wasn't really that involved myself, but we've dominated the heavyweight division for a good few years now. England, Britain, whatever you want to call us. And really, Wilder was the only one. Deontay Wilder was the only non-British fighter that was prominent in the last 10 years in the heavyweight division. Like, really, I mean, if we go back 10 years, Joseph Parker was a world champion. And, there's been a few world champions till it was all kind of put together. But Wilder dominated in America for his world title. And I'm sure he had about 10 defences until he lost to Fury a few years back. And Anthony Joshua, he's had the belt since he won the belt about 9 years ago. Then he lost it, then he won it back again. They lost it a couple of years or 3 years ago to, was it 2 years ago? I don't know. To Usyk. I just want to see. I want to see a Talma fight Usyk. That's it. That's all I want. I think it'd be cool. And like sometimes heavyweight. Well, I'm going to talk about heavyweight. Sometimes fighters do go in too early. So I think that there's an example of Joe Frazier's son, Marvin Frazier. He'd only had a few fights and he went in with Larry Holmes. And because he had Frazier's name and he was following in his dad's footsteps, and Joe Frazier being one of the most famous boxers in America, history even, you could argue. It's a very famous name, always will be, I guess. Joe Frazier. So his dad, having his dad as who he was, Marvin Frazier got a crack at the world title against Larry Holmes way sooner than he was really ready for. And even Larry Holmes was saying to the referee, you need to stop it. Because he couldn't, he just wasn't ready to fight the best heavyweight in the world at the time, who was Larry Holmes. I do hope, though. Oh my gosh, is he going to keep talking about boxing the whole time? Maybe. I do hope that when they come to the history books for boxing, heavyweight boxing, I sometimes feel that Larry Holmes is almost forgotten, which I find amazingly ridiculous because he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And I know people will argue, but it doesn't matter. My podcast. I'm correct. Actually, I do believe I'm correct. I mean, I say one of the greatest. He could be one of 20 or 30. He was phenomenal. His defense was great jab, but his defense was amazing. And he held the title for a long time. And he fought all comers. He just, for some reason, he didn't have the popularity because he came just after, well, he didn't win the world title from Muhammad Ali, but he came after Muhammad Ali being the most famous boxer. And then you had Joe Frazier and George Foreman and all those really popular heavyweight boxers of that era. Norton, Ernie Shavers, was he the 70s? There's so many really big names in the 70s who, not all of them won world titles, but they were all, kind of sort of celebrity status, really, I suppose. But especially, George Foreman, Frazier, Ali, and then Larry Holmes took over, and he ran the place. He ran the heavyweight division for quite a while. But even he said himself, he just didn't get the respect that he deserved. He fought anyone that that was offered to him, and he beat everyone until he faced Michael Spinks. So I think he had 48 wins. 48 wins, undefeated record, and he fought Michael Spinks, who is Leon Spinks' brother. Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali in about 78, 77. So that's the thing, when Larry Holmes beat Muhammad Ali, everyone was saying, oh, Muhammad Ali's an old man. He's an old man. You beat him, he shouldn't have been in the ring. Muhammad Ali shouldn't have been in the ring. He was so old. But, and I'm going to look it up now. Okay. Ali. Only got to put Ali and... Nope, AliExpress. Okay, that's weird. I thought Muhammad Ali would come up. He doesn't. Boxer. If I put in boxer, Ali. There was a time you put in Ali and Muhammad Ali. Okay. So let's go down to the boxing record. Oop. Boxing record all the way down to... Well, all the way up to the end. So... Right. He fought Leon Spinks February the 15th, 1978. Okay, and he lost on points. This is Muhammad Ali. 6 months earlier than that, he fought Ernie Shavers. So, he was still... And he was a world champion, by the way. But he lost his world title. And then September 15th, 1978, Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks again. And he won the world title back. So it's September 1978. So we're going to go forward September 1979. September 1980. So... just over 2 years later, he fought Larry Holmes. Now, fair enough, 2 years of not getting in a ring is quite a long time. And, they argue, he was 38 years old, nearly 39. But he was nearly 37 years old when he won the world title back. So I'm not sure how much 2 years can have an effect. Just, generally, I'm not sure. But I think it was one of those situations where, the same with the Dillian Whyte fight and Atauma. Atauma is... A lot of the people were going on about, well, Dillian Whyte's lost it. He's not the Dillian Whyte he used to be, and that's why it ended so quickly, and he's just lost what he had. And they said that about Ali, giving Larry Holmes no credit for winning. And it's a little bit like that with Atauma, sort of not giving him the credit perhaps he deserves for beating someone like Dillian Whyte, who has been a huge force in the heavyweight division for a long time. He's not a pushover. He's never going to be a pushover. Even when he's 80, he won't be a pushover. This is a big, strong, tough man. So Larry Holmes didn't get the credit he deserved for beating Ali. I never really kind of understood. Not never really, I mean it's just recently, but the last 30 or so years. Odd. So and odd. Oh, I've ordered my taxi for 1 o'clock. It's now 11:25. I don't want to go out. Oh. So, anyway, that's Larry Holmes. Ali didn't retire. He had another fight a year later, just over a year later, and he fought Trevor Berbick. Now, if you don't know who Trevor Berbick is, he is the person who did the chicken dance when Mike Tyson won the world title against Ali. Mike Tyson won the world title against Trevor Berbick. And because I was like 16 years old, I watched it and I thought, Trevor Berbick is rubbish. Again, I was impressed by Mike Tyson, and I'd been following him for a couple of years, watching his progress, because he was the new kid. Well, I think they did call him Kid Wonder, or no, they called him Kid Dynamite to start with, before they called him Iron Mike. And because he was a kid, wasn't he? He was a teenager. So I remember watching updates on his fights and how he's like, because he was fighting every few weeks. So I used to watch this boxing show, and they say, teenage Kid Dynamite Mike Tyson knocks out another huge man. So when he fought for the world title, he made Trevor Berbick look awful, like really bad. But the fact is, he weren't like a nothing fighter. And also, he did have some losses later on and before. But he fought some big names before as well. And after. Some he lost, some he won. And I'm just trying to look for where he got knocked out. So, he got knocked out by Mike Tyson in round 2. Bearing in mind, he had his record. He had 61 fights. This is Trevor Berbick. He lost his title in 1986, sorry. And he carried on, and his last fight was in May 2000. So he carried on for another 4 years, or 4 years, 14 years, or 13 and a half years. He won 33 by knockout, 16 by decision. He had 11 losses. And you might say, well, that's not very good. Well, okay, fair enough. But 9 by decision, only 2 by knockout. So no one after Mike Tyson was able to knock him out. And again, he fought some good names. Not to start with. I say, as in, like, I don't know any of them names. Leading up to John Tate. John Tate was, I think, quite a big name. He fought Larry Holmes on his 21st fight. So he had lost. He'd lost to someone called Bernardo Mercado. And he was previously top-ranked heavyweight, but he never kind of quite got there. And then in 1981, he fought Larry Holmes. Took Larry Holmes to distance. This is peak Larry Holmes. This isn't the Larry Holmes that fought Mike Tyson. This is him at his best. And he couldn't get rid of... he couldn't knock out old Berbick. He also won... He beat Muhammad Ali. And it was Muhammad Ali's very last fight. He beat Greg Page. So this is after he lost to Larry Holmes. He had two losses, 82, 83, to two different people I've never heard of. And then he kind of builds his career back up again. And then he fights Pinklon Thomas to win the WBC heavyweight title. He won that 22nd of March 1986, and then he fought Mike Tyson 22nd of November 1986 and got knocked down in 2 rounds. Now I, for some reason, thought that was it for him. He must have just quit and run off with whatever money he got paid, because he would have got paid more than Mike Tyson for that fight because he was a champion, which means he would have got paid a nice sum of money, I imagine. Should have got a rematch clause. I don't know how many people would have wanted to watch that fight if there was a rematch, because it was such a convincing win. But, you know, you never know. Carl Williams, he lost to, who was a big name. Buster Douglas, he lost to, who was also, I think, undefeated at the time. Buster Douglas went on to beat Mike Tyson, of course. So this is 1989. So when did Buster Douglas... This must have been the fight before Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson. But that was unanimous decision. So he lost that one. Then he went back to the drawing board, whatever. He fought Jimmy Thunder, lost there. But he also fought people like Hasim Rahman, who was a former world title champion. Again, lost on points, but that's a big name. I think he was 2-time world champion, in fact. He also fought Iran Barkley and won. And this was in 99. And the weird thing about it is that Trevor Berbick, although he looked awful in the Tyson fight, apparently he was a very tough man. Like, a bit of a bully boy, actually. So, yeah. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Why am I talking about that? I don't know. Who knows? There's no one ever knows. Right, let's have a look at these star signs. Aries. Sharing ideas with like-minded people energize you. Conversations inspire you to look into new possibilities. I'm going to open this up and make it bigger. That's it. New possibilities. In group situations, you will balance assertiveness with charm, and the right words will open doors. The more unusual a situation, the more it will attract your interest. So that's Aries. That's March 21st to April 20. Libra. Oh no, we'll go down. Taurus, that's the next one, isn't it? Even when you feel strongly about an issue, you will be willing to soften your approach. This helps you connect deeply with others. A surprising insight will guide a long-term decision, and you will know you are making the right choice. Familiar comforts help you relax this evening. Okay, cool. Gemini, it's May 22nd to June 21st. You have always loved to mix, you mixer, and mingle, and you will be especially expressive now, both socially and in the workplace. Friends and colleagues are drawn to your bright personality. Be open to unusual suggestions and explore ideas that break routines. Flexibility is your secret power. Ooh. So next one's Cancer, June 22nd to July 23rd. You feel things deeply. Someone senses that there's more to you than meets the eye and wants to find out more. People are impressed by your quiet confidence. A memory will bring healing, especially if you allow intuition to steer choices. You are more grounded than you think. Now Leo, which will be, for anyone that's listening today is a Leo. So July 24th to August 23rd, and it's August the 18th now. You radiate natural leadership. That's why you will be asked to take charge of a team effort. Senior colleagues are watching your performance. Take this chance to set the tone with kindness and vision. A spontaneous encounter could turn into a meaningful opportunity. Ooh, well, good luck with that. Virgo, which is me, August 24th, September 23. Solitude helps you think much more clearly. Some inner clarity as well as peace of mind will come through rest and reflection. In a tense situation, take a step back and observe before taking any action. You will discover a hidden strength by releasing some old patterns gently. Ooh, isn't it really weird? But that's the one I'm most interested in. I don't know why that is. Libra. September 24th till October 23rd. Partnerships thrive, especially when everyone shows a willingness to listen. Harmony leads the way, and this suits you. You're happy to share your ideas and ask for suggestions. Someone close will surprise you with a new way forward. If this makes you nervous, be receptive, not reactive. By the way, there's some building work going on over the road, so you might hear a bit of drilling. Never mind. Scorpio, October 24th to November 22nd. You're focused and determined, and you intend to achieve your current goals. Yet events today will prompt you to look at the deeper story that is behind your ambitions. Taking a different perspective to these experiences will help change everything for the better. Well, good luck with that. Now Sagittarius, November 23rd to December 21st. Your mind is buzzing with various new and different possibilities. You won't be held back by your more cautious friends as you are ready for experiences that challenge and uplift you. A message will reveal a truth that is worth acting on. Say yes to what excites your spirit. Capricorn, December 22nd to January 20th. It will feel as if you are wading through emotional undercurrents. This isn't what you expected from today, but it will be necessary. Don't rush the process. What is rising to the surface holds value. This is a lesson in trust. A breakthrough is well within your reach. Ooh. Aquarius, January 21st to February 19th. Mixing with a diverse group of people will lead to new understandings. It's a day to be curious, not cautious, curious, and take part in conversations around you and ask plenty of questions. Someone close will speak the words you have been needing to hear, and let instinct guide your responses. And lastly, Pisces, February 20th to March the 20th. It's more the little things that matter than you usually... I'm a Virgo. Wow, I just realised. I'm a Virgo. Sorry, Pisces. It's the little things that matter more than usual to you at the moment. A kind word, a small gesture, or even a slight change in routine could hold a lot of meaning. Remain open to change, for as unexpected as new experiences. Okay, remain open. This is a long sentence. Remain open to change, for as unexpected as new experiences might be, it will work to your advantage. That was just a longer sentence than I was expecting. I'm not shocked by it. I just didn't expect it. Right, so that's the end of that newspaper. Let's have a look. Should we have a look at a new newspaper? Because that was pretty boring. That was a Mirror. National newspapers. The Mirror. There don't seem to be a People for some reason. No People. Daily Star. Let's have a look at the Daily Star. Let's read that. The Daily Star. Okay, just more the same kind of stuff, really. Eva Agovanichvich is in a bikini still. I don't know why. Eric Idle reckons Monty Python will never reform because their comedy magic has gone, and so's half the cast. There'd be no. They're all like in their 80s and stuff. There'd be no point to reform. They've all had their own careers, haven't they? Like separate. I don't know. It's bearing in mind. I mean, I personally think the best thing that the Pythons did, the Monty Pythons, was the movies they did. I preferred them to the TV show. Especially The Life of Brian. It's just one of the funniest movies I ever watched. It's weird because I actually had a hangover. I was 14, and I shouldn't have had a hangover, but I did. So I'd been drinking red wine the night before, so a proper headache. Ugh. Anyway, there was no one else in the house because I was at my uncle's house, and they'd all gone out. So I watched Airplane and The Life of Brian back to back. So I watched one and then the other. And I think it's the most I've ever laughed as a kid. The most, like, in one time. It was really the needed tonic. Oh yes. And they became my two favourite comedy movies. They were just hilarious. So ridiculous. Right, you got another person here that's eating noodles. Camilla Cabello. Right. I don't know what. She's wearing a corset eating noodles. I don't really know what that's about. I'll read it later. Peace. Oh, nope, that's done. You need to unclog the shower. Stop it. Oh, red card. Right, that's it. Nope. Hurricane. Okay, we've got talking about the weather now. We're obsessed with the weather in this country. It's ridiculous. Oasis of Calm. Okay, Oasis. What on earth is that? I'm so out of touch with new singers. I tried to listen, right? I tried to listen. Well, I didn't try. I watched some videos of new recordings, new artists. And when I say new, probably it could be any time in the last 10 years, probably, because I'm a little bit out of touch. And I tell you what's weird is I can really see how to explain it. A lot of copied stuff, a lot of copied melodies, and it's kind of hard to find anything that's really original, in a sense of. And you might be arguing, what do you mean, like Barbie Girl from 1994 or 97? Is that what you mean by original? Because no one had ever done anything like Barbie Girl. Doesn't mean it's good though, does it? Hey. All right, blimey. Don't have a go at me. I don't know. It's just I can see how people like Billie Eilish have just had such an impact on the artists, the new artists. But then that's always going to be the way, isn't it? You know, every artist is going to be impacted by previous people. So yeah. A referee counts out a bot boxer as the winner gloats top humanoid robot games. Really? This is weird. So there's two stories about robots on the same page. No, there's three. Now this is not a specific page for, technology. There's two big stories and one little story, all about robots. Which makes me think they're really preparing us, baby. They're getting us ready. We know what preparing means. Billy Conn warned to fans. So Billy Connolly has warned crooks about using AI to recreate his voice and face to scam his fans. Billy Connolly, you're 82, don't worry about it. I do wonder why people get so caught up in stuff, when they get older. I'm trying to kind of wind down now, in a sense of, what does it matter? There's a 70-year-old person that lives nearby, ranting and honestly, he goes on rants, this person, about the state of the country and the politicians and boat people. It's a big thing at the moment. Boat people. Those boat people. So, yeah. Ranting and ranting. I'm thinking, this is the time you need to start valuing. You're 70. Have you really got time to spend getting angry and getting worked up over stuff like that? I don't think there was a story about, it was, well, all it was on the internet, and it was basically okay, Joan Collins did a photo shoot in a bikini. She's 92. But the story, it was just a story written, no pictures. And someone put a comment underneath saying, why didn't you put any pictures? This is to the person that wrote the article. There was comments on there. Why didn't you put any pictures of her? And the person that wrote the article said, because we didn't want to melt the internet. What happened to the internet? It used to be really good. Yeah, they posted some pictures of... The thing is, right, okay, nobody wants to see a picture of a 92-year-old human in a bikini or in beachwear. I mean, even when when all of the stuff was done, Joan Collins was sitting there and the photo shoot was finished, and they said to her, so Joan, she said, I've got to go, I'm going now. She said, but Joan, don't you want to see the pictures? It's like, Joan would have just laughed. Of course I don't. Nobody does. Thanks for the money, honey. Solitude helps you think more clearly. Inner clarity as well as peace of mind will come through rest and reflection in a tense situation. Step back and observe before acting. You will discover a hidden strength by releasing old patterns gently. So that's my Virgo. Same person, same day. He's just reworded it. I'm thinking AI. He's put it into AI. Right. No, nothing else. Ooh, who's that? Celebrating the rise of a global superstar, Olivia Rodrigo. Never heard of her. Okay. Utami aiming to buy time after first round white bid. So I've already talked about that in great depth, haven't I? Depth? Great depth? What's depth mean? Did you mean depth? Yes. Why didn't you say depth then? I don't know. Depth came out of my mouth. Are you sure there's nothing wrong with you? No, I'm not sure. I don't know. Depth. It's not even, it doesn't even exist, does it? I don't think. I don't know. It's pretty much word for word exactly the same story as the one in the other magazine or the other newspaper. So, yeah, skip through that. I got through that paper pretty quick. Wow. So what other newspapers is there? The Guardian, International News. So, no, this is the Irish. Oh, blimey. So this is National News. Sunday Mail. We don't want the Sunday papers. So there's only the Daily Express. What about the Daily Mail? Where's the Daily Mail? Okay, Daily Express. Let's have a quick look through this one. Daily Express. Britain, 10 million people in... really? 10 million Britons love junk food. Okay, so that's the headline. What? Right. It's a disaster. One woman said to me her husband is so addicted to bread, she sprays bleach on crusts in the bin to stop him eating. So to stop him going into the bin to eat the bread. I don't know what to say about that. Other than it's probably not very healthy to be spraying bleach onto food in a bin. Because someone might come across the bin who's very hungry. I don't know. If he wants to eat bread, he's going to eat bread. It's his choice, isn't it? I don't know. Is there a law about bread? I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, look. Council will let staff work from abroad for 4 weeks. That's a good idea. Dame Helen Mirren has said that while she is a feminist, the next James Bond has to be a guy. Okay. You can't have a woman, it just doesn't work. I mean, Jamie Bond. I don't think they're really focusing on the name, are they? I don't know. I mean, what does it matter? They get so caught up in that stuff, don't they? James Bond, he must be a white, heterosexual male. Can't be anything else. I don't know. I don't know if it. To me, I wouldn't care. I'm not that emotionally invested in it. I realise change can be difficult for some people, but blimey, it's just a movie. It's not a real person. Not really. Time capsule farm preserves 200-year history. That's nice. Ooh. What's that? Joint A. Stay active together. Wow. How about this, yeah? How to prepare for your teen's party. I do believe we've already done this. So I'm guessing the Daily Mirror is from the same printers that make the Daily Express. Completely same, exactly the same article, same picture, everything. That's disappointing. Very disappointing. Same, it's almost the same adverts. Wow. It's very lazy. And Russell Grant is also doing the horoscopes. What's my horoscope on this one? Let's have a look. Same day, third different newspaper. Solitude helps you think much more clearly. Some inner clarity, as well as peace of mind, will come through rest and reflection. In a tense situation, take a step back and observe before taking any action. You will discover a hidden strength by releasing some of the old patterns gently. Word for word, like before. Blimey. Ooh, 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 ooh. There she goes again. Olivia Rodrigo. Nothing else on here. Nope. Just football. Uncle Sausages would be happy. He loved his football. He loved all sports, to be fair. I don't think there was one sport he didn't love. He just had a real appetite for sport. I never asked him why. I didn't question it really. The Guardian. Let's have a little quick whistly look at the Guardian. UK, right. This is a more serious paper, so there might not be much I can really read out of here. Oh, wait a minute. What's the skibidi? TikTok words make it into the latest dictionary. So skibidi, tradwife and delulu are among new words to have made it into the Cambridge Dictionary this year, confirming the increasing influence of the TikTok generation on the English language. For those hoping that such neologisms would be passing internet craze, the compilers of the dictionary say they are here to stay. I've never heard the word skibidi, I don't think. Delulu or tradwife. I don't know any of those words. I don't know what they mean. Anyone? I do know, because I've got a young neighbour. She's 20 or 21 now, and she's taught me a few words, but there was one, spamming, what spamming means to probably most people due to the internet, so spamming now with the younger generation, it means when someone keeps texting you. That's called spamming. See, it's hard to keep track of all this stuff. So internet culture is changing the English language, and the effect is fascinating to observe and capture in the dictionary, said its lexical program manager Colin McIntosh. We only add words we think there's got staying power. Well, I've never heard. How can I not have heard of them? I'm not saying that I'm every man. I'm not necessarily. But I'm around. I am round. How have I not heard of these words? Skibaddle, skibidi. Older generations and those not on TikTok will just have to get used to words such as skibidi, which became popular thanks to the Skibidi Toilet, a viral animated video that began on YouTube featuring human heads protruding from lavatories. Really? I've not even heard of that. I'm on YouTube every day. Children now often use the word to add emphasis to statements. The Cambridge Dictionary defines skibidi as a word that can have different meanings such as cool or bad, or can be used with no real meaning as a joke. As an example of its use is, "What's the spaghetti are you doing?" People older than Gen Alpha, what the heck are all these Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha? We didn't used to have these terms when I was, not even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's just you're either young or you're old, or you're really old. That was it. It's like, your generation. I mean, okay, there was the boomers, the baby boomers, which is my dad's generation. But outside of that, there was no lots of generations, or maybe a war generation. Skibidi brain rot encapsulates a generation fluent in irony but starved for meaning. So this kind of hyper-chaotic media serves as both entertainment and an ambient worldview for young men raised online. Young men? What about young women? Their minds normalise prank as expression. The trade wife phenomenon refers to social conservative influences who celebrate looking after their husbands, children and homes. Tradwife. Okay, so it's socially conservative influences who celebrate like a traditional lifestyle. Delula is an abbreviation of delusional. It has become associated with a post-truth world where personal beliefs are more important than reality. Wow. Yeah. I mean, there is something in that, isn't there? He's Delula. You Delula. So yeah, personal beliefs more important than reality. It's always been like that, though. It's just we didn't know. I tell you, the only difference really, I think, with social media, I know I'm kind of part of that being here doing this, but is before social media came around and YouTube and Facebook and, the internet really, we didn't really get to find out what kind of opinions people had, other than just those people that you knew in your friendship group, maybe in your family, and even then perhaps they would keep it to themselves. Some strong viewpoints. And then the internet came along, and for quite a while it was quite anonymous, wasn't it? The internet. People could come and say whatever they wanted and get away with it. It's all changing a little bit now. But you can... It's kind of weird, especially on YouTube. I think YouTube's quite a good example, really. There'll be a video, and I look at the comments, and it's almost like people are watching a different video to me. What they've got from it, what their opinion about it is. It's like you could have like 500 comments, and 7 or 8 or 12 or 15, maybe 25 different viewpoints, and then the other people are kind of either agreeing or disagreeing. It's like, how? You've all watched the same video. It's like if you just put a colour on a screen, and people would argue over what colour it is. And there was a thing about a dress, wasn't there, a few years back? What colour is the dress? It's green. No, it's not. It's blue. I don't see a dress. Yeah, it's because... I'm not going to finish that sentence, but it's like, it's opinions and emotions over reality, and it's, yeah, very strange. Very strange. Can't really go much further into this because it's time for me to go and have a shower and get myself ready for my trip to the doctor's surgery. And when I get back, I'm going to put this, just skipping through it as I talk, I'll upload this recording, or edit it and upload it. So, and I'm going to make another one later telling you how I got on at the doctor's, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you will be very, very excited to hear what happens next in this story of my exciting existence. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you for being here. I'm just wondering if there's no, there doesn't seem to be. No, it doesn't seem to be a horoscope in this paper. No, there doesn't seem to be. No. Oh well. That's alright. It doesn't matter. I read 3, didn't I? That was enough. That was enough. Oh, wait a minute. Unless there is. No, there isn't. I didn't talk about the weather. Maybe I'll do that later. I'll go through the weather for today. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. And someone's banging around outside now. Bye.